Chapel of Hope is pleased to announce plans for construction of the 8th Chapel of Hope, this time at Woodman State Jail in Gatesville, Texas, where the majority of the female inmates are first received into the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. Welcome to the future home of Chapel of Hope. Chapel of Hope, a place where ministry can take place, a place where on this island here in the middle of this Woodman State Jail, God's work can be done. The chapel, it will rise up from this spot right here with the help of people like you that will help us by buying bricks, by making contributions, by giving to the work of the Lord. And we need your help. We need it here so that as we walk through this day, you can see how 8,000 ladies come through this place. And right here, right in the middle of the prison, they'll have ease of access. They'll be able to walk through and be able to go to the library. They'll be able to go to worship services. They'll be able to go and find Bible studies where volunteers will come and minister the Word of God. So I thank you that in your way, in your manner, you can help us build this Chapel of Hope. We're going to show you some more about this place where 8,000 women come each year. Through this door, a lady begins her prison time. This is the intake. This is the first thing they see when they get off the bus from the county jail. It is here that they are stepping into a world that they know not what the future holds. They're lonely, they're scared, they're without hope in many cases because they are looking at prison time. It is through here they will be processed into the prison. It is through here that their time in prison begins. This is where prison begins. The ladies have come off the bus. They now receive their uniform. They're now in prison. And life as an inmate in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice has just begun. From here they go to this holding area where they're waiting, sometimes all day, to be processed into the prison system. It's a lonely experience, again, sitting and waiting.
Today's my first day.
What was it like when you left county jail?
Well, I felt kind of empty because I knew I wasn't going to be able to see my little girl like I could before.
What'd you think about on the bus coming down here?
I felt a lot of guilt and shame, and I started feeling lonely already because I know I won't see my little girl as much.
What will it take to enable you to make it through this? It'll take God, won't it? This is the area called the Dog Pound. It is where the ladies spend their first night in prison. In these Cox-fenced cages, they come to the reality that they are lost. They are in a dark place. And you know, it's at this time that the message of Jesus Christ can be so powerful in someone's heart. It's at a time like this that they need a place like a chapel to go, to hear the Word preached, to study the Bible, to be encouraged, to be helped, to have a mentor there give them a kind word. Because from here, they can only go up. They can only go up with help from people like you to help us build a chapel in this dark and lonely place.
When I got on the bus in Austin, I was shaky, I was nervous. I've never been locked up very long. I didn't know what to expect because I had heard so much bad things about prison. And I was very nervous. I didn't want to come back right then.
When they took you off the bus and you stood there before that intake door, what was going through your mind?
I was very scared. I was scared of the officers. The officers frightened me. I was nervous. I had tension, confused, frustrated, and very enraged. I didn't want to be here. I accepted Jesus Christ December the 18th, the day I entered said. Y'all came and prayed for me.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
I remember now.
Yes, you remember me? Yeah.
Did you pray today?
I prayed today. I just finished praying.
What'd you pray about?
I asked God to put up my stronghold. I went to Ephesians 6:10.
Did you?
Yes, sir.
What Ephesians 16 say?
Ephesians 6:10 says that as long as you put up the strongholds in your life, that you will be able to stand firm and put your back against the wall and fight anything.
That's a good verse, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Who taught you that verse?
You did.
Thousands of women just like those you have heard are brought to Woodman State Jail in Gatesville each year. A Chapel of Hope will give these ladies a place to find hope for their lives and experience a changed life through the power of our Lord Jesus Christ.
A lady who comes into a unit like this from a county jail is brokenhearted. They feel so low and devastated that they can't even hold their head up or their shoulders. You can barely breathe. It's hard to even breathe. You're so devastated and you feel so abandoned. We need a chapel most of all because there are over 900 women on this unit at all times, and the small room that we use in the education building, it's just a small testing room, and when it's totally packed, we can barely get 100 chairs in there. So that leaves out, 800 or more women at every service that are left, crying and hurting, being turned away, that, they have nowhere to turn to, no comfort, and no chance for fellowship with the Lord. It's very important to have a chapel for a person to go to at the point in their life when they first come onto a unit out of a county jail, because they're at their lowest level and they've hit rock bottom, and the only way they have to look is up to the Lord, and that's the turning point in their life to where they can give their hearts to Jesus and turn their lives around forever, and it will make a difference in not only their lives but their children's and their families, and change society as a whole. It can transform them and keep them from coming back to prison or going back to jail, and keep their kids from following in the same pattern. A chapel would help bring a lot of extra activities that an inmate could do here. A lot of the women who don't have jobs or are not in school, they just lay in the dorms and get so depressed that sometimes they have to go on psych medications to deal with it. And if we had a chapel, we could have Bible studies, we could have singing groups, we could have room and time on our schedule for our volunteers to come in and do ministry work with us. We could do a lot of good works, for the prison ourselves, and do a lot of ministry ourselves as chaplain helpers and as the inmates here, and it would make a world of difference in the whole entire unit.
Hear how the Chapel of Hope at the Murray Unit in Gatesville changed one inmate's life. Her story will be repeated thousands of times over the life of the chapel.
This Chapel of Hope has changed my life like you would not believe. I stepped in here as a unit artist and as a Buddhist. And being here in the Chapel of Hope changed that. In the dark world of the prison, the chapel is my sanctuary. It's anyone's sanctuary. If given a chance, people would come in here just to sit, just to collect themselves, to find themselves, and maybe find the direction that they need, that I found. For a young girl to come in here, as I was when I was 16, it's going to be hard. They're going to be rebellious, yes, but if they find their way to a chapel or even to a chaplain, they'll find a sanctuary, they'll find peace, somewhere to get rid of their anger and their hatred and their bitterness. It's a place to deposit all the negative and pick up all the positive and walk out of here. I wish that everybody can experience the Chapel of Hope, no matter which one they are at. That it's an awesome, awesome place just to sit in it.
The Chapel of Hope to me is a haven for hurting hearts. As ladies like these that I'm standing with, there's numerous ladies in the state of Texas that are hurting. And there's broken hearts, there's broken families, there's broken lives. And to walk into this chapel is an awesome experience for these ladies. Because one time, if they walk in one time, they will never be the same when they leave. And it's just been an awesome experience. The ladies that come, the ladies that are coming into TDC, we just want them to experience what we experience each and every day. And we want to see healing in broken hearts.
God has enabled Chapel of Hope Ministries to build 7 different chapels inside the fences of jails and prisons managed by the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. God is doing a mighty work in these chapels. It is estimated that 35,000 inmate visits occur each month in the combined 7 chapels. The inmates are ministered to by over 1,400 faith-based religious volunteers. God has enabled chapels to be built at Hutchins State Jail in Dallas, at the Hughes Unit in Gatesville, at the Stiles Unit in Beaumont, at the Conley Unit in Kennedy, at Plain State Jail in Dayton, at the Henley Unit in Dayton, and the Murray Unit in Gatesville. This is a mighty work of God, and we need your help to continue our ministry of building chapels in Texas prisons and jails. President George W. Bush, while governor of Texas, encouraged Chapel of Hope with letters and funding for use in construction of chapels. Governor Bush said, and I quote, "I commend you for your commitment to bringing the ministry of God to the men and women who are behind bars." Governor Bush also presented Chapel of Hope with the Governor's Volunteer Service Award for outstanding service to the Chaplaincy Department of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
They deserve the support of corporate America. They deserve the support of individual donors, of church congregations, and they deserve, when appropriate, the support of the federal government.
Your help is urgently needed to help fund the chapel at the Woodman Unit and to continue Chapel of Hope's mission to build chapels in every female prison in Texas. We're at Hutchins State Jail in Dallas. Hutchins State Jail was the home of the first Chapel of Hope. This chapel has touched this entire community of the prison. Inmates come and worship. Inmates have the opportunity to go to Bible studies, go to worship services, be touched by many mentors. It's this same type of chapel that we're asking you to help us build at Woodman State Jail, where 8,000 women are brought each year to be processed into the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. By you buying a brick, you can become a part of the army that will raise up this chapel at Woodman State Jail. Will you go right now to our website and go right to the page where it says buy a brick? And by buying a brick, you become a part of the army. You can buy it online, you can pay for it through your credit card, or you can mail us a check. It's all there under Buy a Brick on our website at chapelofhope.org. Thank you for supporting this ministry to build a chapel at Woodman State Jail.